Meg Booth. Kevin Dewar. Ann Miller. Jason Kendall. And Miranda Podell. Board of Review candidates.
Did you interview him?
And you guys have all been made aware and are prepared for the requirements of this position. It's gonna be boring, but as long as you're ready.
Yes, everyone was emailed.
Okay.
Training dates, information, the most frequently asked questions about board of review.
How not to fall asleep. I mean, no
I-
offense, Amanda.
I sent out
Because
the
I'm
information.
sure that they're gonna be spectacular under your watch. So we'll make a motion to approve these 5 candidates, 3 members and 2, do we need to say who's the members and who's alternates? Specify? I mean, I guess that'd be,
Yeah, I guess we
Right.
always have to, don't we, then?
anybody wanna take second fiddle? Like who's not terribly excited about it, or you're all excited? Second fiddle.
Second fiddle.
Ready.
Alright, we have one
We
taker,
have one
Miranda.
alternate.
So I say the 3 people who are here, right, show the initiative, you get the job. Meg Booth, Ann Miller, Jason Pendle, congratulations. I'd like to make a motion to make them 3 members on the board of review, with the 2 alternates being Miranda Podell, the honest Miranda Podell, and Heather Dewar. Does that sound cool?
That sounds great.
I'll second that.
So we have a motion, we have a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Oh, sorry, we need to authorize the pay, but we can do that.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
say,
I'll make a motion to authorize the pay for training.
okay,
Two.
to,
Yeah.
okay, perfect.
The same motion, okay?
Yep, all in the same, we're gonna get all one big long motion.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
I will get with the 5 of you guys about training and get your information and talk to you guys, cause Susan has another, training that is offered in Mecosta County that is in, February, and that's another option as well. It's an in-person, but there's a Saturday and there's a Thursday or something like that.
February 11th and February 9th.
Well, I have that printed off for you guys, so you guys can have that and see if that's an option for you as well. And then we will go from there. So, thank you very much, it's very much appreciated, everybody actually wanting to serve.
Okay, contract electrical.
Yeah, that's right here, no, because it was just in the mail, so,
Oh, when did you get that?
just the other day, so,
I
it's
don't
just
have- I don't
saying,
have a copy of
no,
that.
you do not.
Okay,
This
we
is,
need to approve the contract.
so what we're doing is the agreement between us for the election, the collection of summer school property taxes. It's just saying that, yes, we're gonna be the people that collect the taxes and for the school, and it's a contract that we have to do every year with them. So, that's all it is.
For collecting those taxes
We get,
in the summer, we get
yeah,
is it still $2.25 per parcel?
it is, no, it's $2.50 a parcel is what we get, it's SET, so state education tax is what you would get, is $2.50 per parcel that we collect. And that's our fee that we get back, paid to us for being there.
And the reason is
collection.
because Lakeview, now schools usually, now tell me if I'm wrong, schools usually levy their taxes in the winter, but Lakeview schools likes to have their money early, I guess, without putting words in the school's mouth. So in order to get their money earlier and you have it levied in the summer, they're gonna pay us $2.50 a parcel to do that on their behalf. There's 1,550 parcels, more or less. So for those of you who live in Tri-County School District, you still get levied in the winter, and we don't get $2.50 a parcel. Those of us that live in Lakeview School District, that's why our summer taxes are a little different, especially if you don't have Perry. But so that's the difference there. That's the only reason we do this. We just do it as a favor to the schools, and they get to give us $2.50. I guess not
So
really
we
a
just
favor.
sign it, we
So we sign it, then- and you'll know how many parcels and all that stuff.
Yeah, and I bill it then.
Okay, that's what I thought, so. And we need signatures and make it.
Did you make a copy?
I did not make a copy, I
Okay.
thought I'd wait till I have a copy of their signatures, but actually they,
Who else has to do
no,
it?
that's it, because those are from the school, so that comes on the very end.
I'll make a copy.
Perfect, on to the next one.
One more new business,
Yep.
wind ordinance. You talked to our lawyer.
I spoke to our attorney, and what she said is, since the wind ordinance was defeated in the November election, in the referendum, we could, as a board, look at the original, the original ordinance that was sent from the planning commission to the board in April. So that is what we're looking at this evening, and we have the right at this time to basically pass it, and I have put it out there, and I have two different motions that I'd like to make that involve the original ordinance. Everybody has a copy of it, and there's two things that I would like to do. So at this time, I'm going to make the motion to make the following changes to the wind ordinance final draft. The first one is gonna be in section 4 under setbacks, separations, and security. And that is gonna be under C, non-participating lot setbacks. Change it from 3 times to 5 times the tip height. And,
Can you tell us a page number?
sorry, yeah. It is. It is gonna be on page 8. Page 8. And it's gonna be under C. So that's my motion. I'm just looking for a second, just hanging out here in the wind here.
Okay,
A motion on the floor, do we have a second?
well, I think we should talk about it for a second.
Okay,
Just
well,
so I understand the process here. You're making a motion to amend this paperwork, and then we still need to approve it.
That is
The
correct.
ordinance. Okay, gotcha. So I guess why? Why would you like them 5 times the height?
Versus 3,
Yes.
to be more compliant and to be closer to what everyone else around us is. Because currently, we are the lowest. We have 500 foot height.
By around us, you mean Montcalm
I'm
County
talking
Townships,
Montcalm
or-
County, I'm talking Pearson Township is 4 times.
Past
I'm talking
ordinances.
their ordinance is passed, I'm talking Sydney Township is 5, Pine Township is 4. I'm trying to be more in line with what our neighbors have, and some of them obviously were not the same height as ours, because Pine is not, but Pearson is the same height as ours, and they're 4, so I'm trying to be more conservative and be 5 times the tip height, which is only, I said what we were at, 15, we're at 2,500 feet. But there's a waiver system written in here, so if somebody wants it closer, they are more than they can have it closer if they want. But this is for a non-participating person, and if for some reason that non-participating person would like to allow their neighbor to
It's
have it
covered by
closer,
a waiver,
it's
right?
covered by a waiver.
Yep, I did, I looked, I can collaborate that what you're saying is accurate, cause I looked at the other past ordinances of the townships around us, at least the ones that actually went ahead and passed a wind ordinance, and it did not fall under referendum. And
That's
they're at 4 and 5 times, all of them. The turbine heights on them were 500 feet and down, very similar, so within Montcalm County, we're at least par for the course. And, something I would like to add to what you're kinda saying is, that's a lot of planning commissions, that's a lot of people, that's a lot of discussion. that's a lot of township boards, that's not just us. You know, so when you take into consideration that part of it, I feel like, you know, I'm deliberating between the two, you wanna go for 5 times, are there any other changes?
My next motion will be just to change, to add, in the red down below, is add 2 lakes, that's it.
And why would you add those 2 lakes?
Because they border our township. Rainbow is right across the street of Gravel Ridge into Pine, and Maston is in the south corner into Spencer Township. So just being respectful of our neighbors and saying, Winfield is already in here. Because that is already in our master plan, because Winfield southern tip is already in our township.
But in making these changes, have you looked, is there any place within the township that would be able to, you know, host a wind turbine with these changes?
Yes. They can do waivers.
Like if a group of people wanted to host a turbine, that's important for their rights as landowners, if there's a group of neighbors that wanna have this, but yet they have, neighbors that are opposed, and the opposed neighbors are protected, the people that want it can sign all the waivers they want and go ahead with whatever they want.
Right, but the lake setbacks can't have waivers.
Why can't they? We have them written in there.
So the first thing, the 5 times
Right there,
the height,
lake-
is the
lake
first
setback.
question.
So you have to get permission from all the property owners surrounding the lake.
That is correct. So there is a possibility in there. So do I have a second on the first motion that I made, just to try to keep my paperwork clear?
Yeah, if any law can be amended, I'll second it.
Okay.
And you want a roll call vote on that?
We have to.
Okay.
We have to have that for, because it's done by resolution. So that's why this first one, that's why we have to do it separately for each one.
So roll call vote, Ransom? Yes. Thornhill?
Yes.
Knapp?
Yes?
Abstain.
And I'll say yes.
So motion passed, the first one. The second motion I'd like to make is, in that same section, for setback separation securities, D, I'd like to add Rainbow and Maston Lakes.
I think you need to clarify to Muskellunge Lake, there is a Muskellunge Lake in DeKalb County. Just throw it in there, or
It is, it's hooked right to Mast,
Yeah.
it's a small lake.
right, cause that's, at the fishing tournaments, a lot of guys come up to Troopment thinking that's part of Lola, but it's
Mast
not.
and Muskellunge are actually connected by a small
Yeah.
tributary. or
I would
whatever.
just specify Muskellunge Township, or Muskellunge Lake located within Maple Valley Township, just for clarification.
That in there?
I did not realize there was a second Muskellunge, because apparently they were out of names and said, that's a great one, let's use it twice within a very short distance. Alright, so we're gonna add in that the Muskellunge is in Maple Valley Township, correct? Alright, I will add that into my motion then. Then we're gonna add Rainbow and Maston Lakes, and
What lakes are in there right now?
the 12 identified lakes that are in the master plan.
Muskellunge, Cowden, Cody, which I think is misspelled, I think it's CODY. Rocky Barnard, Picnic, Black Cranberry, Spruce, Mahaney,
That's correct.
Ward, Mosquito, Winfield, and then she wants to add Rainbow and Maston.
What would the lake setback be?
1 mile.
We have the motion, do we have a second for that?
I'll second.
We have a second. And roll call, Any more discussion? Roll call vote, Thornhill,
Yes.
Franson? Yep. Nat,
Yes.
Juan,
Abstain.
I'll say yes. And motion passed, carried.
So with that being said, my next motion is I would like to adopt the wind ordinance with the amendments that we just made by resolution.
Can you say something first? So my question
I'm
is,
sorry.
why are we passing a wind ordinance when the citizens of Maple Valley Township just voted down a wind ordinance?
We're passing a wind ordinance that was originally sent to the board. The one that was just voted down was changed by the board,
We just reversed it.
and we just put it back to the original one, the way it was, with 2 additions.
But by having a wind ordinance,
We have to have a wind ordinance because we have, if we don't have one,
I'm sorry, did you say
We're gonna stop the meeting a second, I have. Old man.
pause.
That's something that it says here.
Want clarification on it?
That property line surrounding the following identified roads in the township, so those are supposedly on there. Those are there. So, I don't know if they reword that somewhere. Somebody might find that. Yeah, but it already does say that it's in township for the, yeah.
you said you were, you know what I'm talking about.
Put that back in, see, go out. Okay. Sorry about that, gentlemen.
Okay, we're back. So I made a motion to adopt the wind ordinance with the amendments that we just made.
Second?
I'll second that as well. Let's put this behind us.
Okay?
Do we have some discussion?
So my concern is, now we have a wind ordinance that's making it possible for us to have wind energy in Maple Valley Township. It just seems counter-indicated from what the people voted, right? I mean, we have a 30-70 vote that the people
Okay,
didn't
well,
want.
what they voted down was an ordinance that had changes. They voted the changes down, basically. I mean, if the people who voted, and I'm probably speaking out of turn, but they voted because the original wind ordinance that was sent through, in my opinion, was a pretty good ordinance. But then the board made changes and took those things out. And that's why, and then it went to referendum, so they voted it down. So now we're putting back in the original one, and anybody has the opportunity to do the referendum all over again if they don't agree with what we did. But
Right, but 70% of the people said,
they weren't voting to say no to wind energy. They weren't saying no to turbines altogether. They voted down the ordinance that was presented as it was,
So the other
with the
option,
changes.
the other option is to send it back to the PC. And hopefully, most likely would send us the same thing that they sent us the first time.
So we're cutting out the middleman
We're
by
cutting
saying,
that out by saying, hey,
let's just go back to the original one that the PC worked very hard on, took a year and a half, sent it to the board, and then it was essentially gutted. And then it was sent to referendum. So we're going back to what the PC worked hard on, and we're saying, no, we're gonna accept the work that they did, and we're going to vote that in as law.
Hopefully it will get referendum.
And like I said, it could be referendum again, you never know, because any person can do a referendum.
it just seems to me that the people have spoken through the vote. But
They were conflicted.
What don't you get? It's so easy to see that.
They were conflicted. They put it in for Apex. His name was Newell.
Right.
Had it.
I'm sorry, there was a vote of the people, so.
Second was made.
And they,
Mary has a vote.
Okay,
Roll call vote needs to take place and then the people consider.
we'll, go with a roll call vote on this, Thornhill,
Yes.
Rancid? Yep. Nat,
yes.
Schwan,
Abstain.
and I'll say yes. Motion is passed. With that, we'll continue on with some public comment.
Andas and Maple Valley. Thank you, Amanda, however you say your last name. Toomey, for stepping up and doing this for us and going through what was in there that was probably quite interesting. And to the board, did you guys check with Roush on the door, and getting that taken care of since he was already paid to do the work and we still do not have
I
that?
haven't talked to him
I have
yet.
not spoken with them.
I'm sorry, we have not talked to him yet.
Okay, and why do we have to have a representative of the fire department? Just out of curiosity, we no longer have a fire department per se for Maple Valley like we used to. We used to have Coral and Truth Fire Department, but we no longer have that.
We're financially, responsible to them though. And so we have representatives there to hear what's going on, to transfer information, to take part in the meeting.
And we have a fire department.
You won't have to, you want a quarter.
Lakeview has a fire department that represents us.
We contract with the Lakeview District Fire Department for fire coverage.
No, you own a quarter of it. You don't contract with us, you own
Well,
one-fourth
yeah,
owner.
right, we buy it. We collect a millage that we pass over to Lakeview District Fire, and in return of that, we get coverage.
It's your fire department, that's why you have you have two members on the board that help run the fire department the way you want it run. It's your fire department, your name's on the truck, we work for you.
Alright, thank you. I was just curious as to how all of that works, is all it was. But thank you for answering that. job you guys are doing.
Go ahead, Roger.
Just so we don't have any conflict like we had this last time, shouldn't there be more than one administrator on that website, so if somebody gets sick, something like that happens, we still have an administrator?
That's not a bad idea. You wanna volunteer?
I think it should probably be somebody else on the board.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I was just joking.
Andy, isn't your deputy,
Can your deputy do it?
isn't your deputy?
My actual first thought was right there.
I say I can put Susan on as the,
So I said, your deputy would probably make it really fantastic.
I'll get her added on there so she knows that as well.
That was it, thank you.
That's a good idea, thanks, Roger. I'm sorry, I forgot your name.
Meg.
Meg.
Meg with Maple Valley. I'd like to recommend if you go about doing website updates, that you also open that up for bid or solicit multiple estimates for that.
We do have multiple bids that we got last month, we just haven't had a chance to look them over, so. And Meg, I asked Meg to look into Google numbers for us. I didn't bring my stuff with me about.
Yeah, so, I actually just sent it to you today because I'm late
Okay.
and I had, sticky note right there, right?
No,
in
that's
my
okay.
face. Google Voice is a free service that you can sign up for, attach it to your personal account, so I know, like, for example, Andy has, set up a clerk email with Gmail,
And I set
and
up one
if
of
you
these
set up one for
guys.
supervisor, you can tie a Google Voice account, which is an app you can add to an Android or an Apple phone, and it allows you to get a separate phone number that you can receive calls and texts via that phone number so that it doesn't muddy your personal with your professional. And it's all saved, people can leave voicemails, you can have, a history of those calls, just like you would on like a landline. So if you ever were FOIA'd, you can submit those text messages as well. Free service, if you upgrade to a business account which has more amenities, it's $10 a month per user.
Sorry, it's not about phone numbers. And I wanted to do that, so. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
My name's Steve Davis. I'm actually the person that bought the Boy Scout building. When I returned, some of the material was gone, missing, cleaned up. I know it looked like garbage to you all, but I deal in recycled materials, especially buildings. I know what a Western red cedar looks like. I've dealt in antique heart pine for over 30 years. So what looked like garbage to you guys was actually money, and a lot of it. So I'm missing 16 by 8 foot of Western red cedar clapboard that I paid for. I'm missing antique heart pine 1 by 3. You can shake your head all you want, but I have pictures of it. Yeah, I have pictures of it. I have a crew of people, 6 people that work diligently every weekend on their days off, committed to me. Crew that I paid that can identify species of lumber. So unless you've dealt in it and you know all about it your whole life, buddy, don't shake your head at me.
What's your bitch?
I'm telling you right now what it is. It got thrown away without any notice to me whatsoever. So exactly what you claimed that the last supervisor did, you did. No notice. You had every right to do it, I guess, is what you said in your text. I claim that that is not true. You don't have the right to do that. You can't sell me something and then take it back without even giving me a notice. Within 30 days, no notice.
Do you have the contract signed that you made with?
It's right in the minutes.
Okay, well, I didn't.
It's right in the minutes. If anybody took the time to look back in the minutes, it's
Go
right
load
in
the
there.
dumpster and prove it.
There was also in the minutes about cleaning it up.
There was, had no timeline. It said everything that I was supposed to move by
No, I'm
hand.
talking in the minutes from last month.
No, I'm talking about the minutes when I signed the contract. There was no timeline on when to clean it up. It took this township 2 years to remove the power and the gas. Something that takes me 2 weeks, took this township 2 years. I had people in there dealing with vermiculite, doing asbestos abatement, all of it to get this lumber. That was the main goal of it, to get the lumber. So now I'm out money. I'm here to see what's gonna happen at this township, because you as the supervisor, correct, went there and cleaned it up. There's pictures of it all over Facebook.
Yep, and we have the
Yeah,
pictures of
I have-
everything we
Yeah,
took.
and I have pictures of it, how it was left, and I have pictures of everything
Let's
too.
compare it then.
I also have liability insurance, I have coverage, I have people that do this for a living. Do you?
He has pictures.
Has
of
nothing to do with how long it's sat,
So,
nothing to do with how long it's sat,
how long did you think
No
it was
notice.
for it to sit there,
no notice,
uncovered,
no notice,
with nails sticking out, for our
no
children?
notice, that's where it goes,
Where's
no
your
notice.
permit?
Do you have
You
children
can't
that play
do
that
things
part?
without notice, correct?
Time's up, Dan.
Time's up.
Permit.
You can't
Thank
do
you.
things without notice, I'm here to see what you plan on doing about it.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing?
Sue us.
So you act for the board, and you're gonna let this happen? You're
Go and
gonna
load the
let people
dumpster
act
and
for
prove
the
it.
board?
Your time's up.
Your time is up.
No,
Well,
I don't think so.
You have 3 minutes, it's up.
go ahead, sir.
I was over there and helped clean up that mess that was made, there was all shingles and nails all over the place.
Did you read the contract
I
with the board?
didn't have to read the contract, I
You
was
should.
doing it out of the goodness of my heart to go clean
should
it up.
read
because of
contract
all
law,
the people
too.
that were having a fit
You
because
should
that
read
stuff was
contract
blowing
law,
all over the yard.
contract law,
And why didn't you clean it up when you got it thrown out?
contract law.
Oh, it's baloney, you just lazy.
There was,
Yeah, that's what it
there was
is.
important wood there, how do you know that we took it? I mean, it was laying there in the open for over
Because there's
30 days.
pictures of it on the trailer.
Yeah, for
Been
over
taken.
30 days, and
It wasn't there
we
for over
heard from
30
the
days.
neighbors
Stuff
that
over there
everybody
was
was over
busted.
there
It
picking
wasn't
through
over
it.
there for 30
Drywall,
days.
it was just junk,
Yeah,
2/3 of it was shingles.
yeah.
Okay, you wanted
And it
the
would have been
shingles?
removed had
You
you
wanted
given
the
me
shingles?
notice.
Please speak to the board.
Did you file a police report?
I did file a police report.
There you
No,
go.
probably
The evidence
take
is
care
And
right
the
there.
attorney will be
Dumpster
next, it's not a problem, I know how much my attorney costs,
That's
and how much yours costs.
Yeah. Well, we got 2 more minutes on,
The carpet's still there, if you wanna go get that.
you done?
No, that's all yours.
Okay. Another one?
I have a question, earlier it was asked, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mary Ann was asking about if they had a backup plow driver in case Leonard was sick.
Yeah.
Did I hear that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then there's also a backup for the website in case Andy would be sick, that Mary Ann could do that, correct?
No. Susan's gonna be there.
Okay, but she would have access